Okay,
right,
I'm a little all over the place, but we'll get through it.
It's a
Are
podcast.
you ready?
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing
ready.
it.
Lift off. And of course.
Oh my God.
And of course, as soon as you cue the music, my nose starts itching. Okay.
Do we need a tissue?
I might ask producer Sammy to get me a little. Yeah.
She can grab one. I think there's around the corner, and you'll get one.
That one we don't need this. We can keep plowing ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna plow through. We're back from our ventures.
Yes, we both are. We have been all over the place.
And you know what? For the listeners of Eat, Talk, Repeat, we synchronized our travels.
Yeah.
So as to not inconvenience people more.
Thank you.
Than necessary. You traveled, I traveled. It's great. I'm happy to be back, though. We all escaped the winter storms of the East.
Well, it was harder for you than me. It was no problem going to New Orleans, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So let's introduce ourselves.
Yeah, so we're Eat, Talk, Repeat. This is another episode, and we're your lovely hosts. I am Ash Watkins, the Hamburguesa Principessa of Las Vegas.
Also, ace lawyer Ash, the attorney.
You know what? Thank you for that.
Let's
It's my day job.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we should plug that once in a while since they do sponsor and pay for this great podcast. So,
yes.
So, yes, at Sam and Ash, when in a wreck, call Sam and Ash.
It's in a crash, call Sam and Ash.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, you can find me on all platforms at Ash the Attorney for your legal woes or questions, and also just your burger questions or food hunts.
Or if somebody plows into you with their car, call her that. Call her then too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm John Curtis, the invidious inveyor of Epicurean invective, aka the obstreperous omnivore, at your service.
Obstreperous, wow, big words.
I want people to get out have the thesaurus at the ready when we begin this show every time. Yes.
I like it.
I'm at Eating Las Vegas, my blog, eatinglv.com, at John Curtis on Instagram, and at Eating Las Vegas on Twitter. So that's who we are. Now, what are we here to talk about?
We're here to talk about all things food
in Las Vegas, mainly. But
we travel.
But this episode, we're going to be all over the United States.
We are, and just a reminder, you can find us on all platforms at Eat Talk Repeat. We have a website, eattalkrepeat.com, and bravo to producer Sammy.
Yay.
This week was a big week. John, did you get your copy of our first ever newsletter?
I think it's in
your inbox.
It's my inbox, but I'm barely off the plane from New Orleans here,
I know.
so
yes,
haven't checked everything.
We now have a newsletter. It gets dropped every Wednesday morning. You will get insider info. There's a lot of food news and events that are happening around town that we can't get to here on the pod. The reason to subscribe to the newsletter, it will contain a lot more of that. It'll have what we deem to be the pet peeve of the week for the week before from listener submissions, etc. So please continue to update us with your dining and restaurant pet peeves, and we will continue to pick the peeve of the week. We will have orders of the week on there, like the best dish we've had around town.
And we posted something. I mean, I saw that when I was in Louisiana. And it got tons of likes all of a sudden about, the recommendations. So bravo to producer Sammy.
Yes, we're getting our little duckies in a row over here, and we posted some great content with our Arts District recommendations. And of course, we ruffled some feathers by who we didn't include.
Oh.
And so we were like, okay, there's going to be a part 2, obviously.
Yeah, we immediately said, what about blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, so,
you want to know something that chaps my ass? Okay, excuse me.
Please.
And this is not a pet peeve of the week, although it could be every week. Suddenly, I'm just doom scrolling Facebook, I think it was yesterday, the day before, and suddenly there's I think it's Food and Wine, but there's this big headline that says, Las Vegas's best restaurants are now off the strip.
Yep.
And then if you read the comments from the idiots, who comment on this stuff, they're like, wow, who knew? Whoa, my gosh. Wow, this is great news. I was wondering about that. I'm like, yeah, I've been talking about it for 7 years, and we've been talking about it on this podcast for 3 years, and now the message is finally getting out.
Yeah, the ecosystem of food and dining and drinks is like legitimately you could live just in these couple blocks.
Oh, yeah, downtown. In fact, between downtown and Chinatown, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
I know. But yeah, Food and Wine did write a really nice article. Las Vegas dining's real action is happening off the strip. So yeah, they finally caught up to what we've been screaming about for the last 3 years on this podcast. What else, John? I'm trying to think. So yeah, subscribe to the newsletter. Go on there. We're going to eventually have merch, so we will have contests, and if you win, we'll send you some of that. So please do that, and you won't miss anything. My recent ventures, which we will get to, Ada's, I returned for a second time.
Lucky you.
I know. We went to Viking Mike's Alpine Yurt Bar and sat there with Jared and had a great time.
Oh, my God.
Then I did
we ate everything on the menu, too,
yes.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, went to Garagiste for some wines. Always have to shout them out. And last but not least, your girl got on a jet plane.
A red eye, huh?
I took a red eye out of Las Vegas.
How does that beautiful complexion look after you've been ragged out of an airport for 9 hours straight?
Rough. Rough. Yeah, so...
Get all bleary-eyed.
I did try to put all the moisturizing face lotion on before. So red eye out on Wednesday, landed in New York City Thursday, went to check out the Golden Steer, New York City.
Impressive.
And then flew right back Friday afternoon.
Yeah, that's pretty. And yeah, that'll wear you out quicker than anything.
I'm still recovering. Not from jet lag, just the energy that takes is a lot. So,
yeah, New York is something else. But you mentioned about walking around New York was fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you stay in Midtown?
So stayed in Midtown. Loved I hate everything about New York City, but this trip really kind of made me love it.
SoCal girl here.
You just drive around. It's just dirty. All the garbage bags piled up. It's loud. It's busy. It's the honking. Yeah. It's aggressive. Everyone is walking 100 miles an hour, and it's because it's either too cold, you're avoiding a meth head, you don't want to get hit by a moped or a bike rider.
Or you got 9 blocks to walk to work.
Yeah. And you got somewhere to be. I do love the fact that everyone is not in their own apartments or condos or wherever, and so there is food everywhere.
It's nuts.
Everywhere.
I mean, I haven't been to New York since COVID. That was the last time I went. But it always astounded me that you can stand on any block from like 110th Street down to the Battery. And just do a 360, and you're going to see a dozen places to eat everywhere you turn.
Yeah, so I landed, I freshened up in my hotel room, was checking out, I was a little hungry. I look on my map and go, where are the best U.S. pizza places? And sure enough, within 20-minute walk, I had number 5. And so I looked online, they had availability. I walked 20 minutes,
Remember the name?
Yeah, Ribalta.
Ribalta? Oh, yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Really impressive.
Yeah.
Loved it. But it's dead. Yeah. And I go, how is the number 5 pizza place in the U.S. dead at lunchtime? And I go, because there's 100 other pizza places.
There and here.
You can sneeze and find everything you need. So really kind of a magical quick trip. I loved it. I'll tell you more about the Golden Steer and everything a little bit. But John, where have you been?
Well, I'll tell you about that. But one quick thing about New York. The other thing, I have friends and family that always go, back when I used to be in love with New York. We kind of broke up over COVID, but we'll leave that on the shelf for right now. But I also thought, you say, well, isn't it dangerous? And I went, New York is actually the Manhattan anyway. Let's say, Central Park down to like the Villages and all that, is the only city in the world, even compared to Paris, where at 3 in the morning, I don't care where you are. There are hundreds of cars and people walking by you at all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I mean, yeah, you can. There's crime in New York City, but it's kind of other side of the tracks, you know, in the bad neighborhoods of the Bronx or Brooklyn or wherever. But yeah, it's always astounding to me just how vibrant the city is at any hour of the day. Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't go. I mean, Midtown is probably the sleepiest town because all the skyscrapers are there and it kind of empties out. And, you know, once the Broadway shows go, probably by midnight, 1 a.m, it's a little slower. But you can walk into Times Square at 3 a.m. And you're going to see 1,000 people walking around.
Yeah, and my advice to anyone about this whole crime thing, take your AirPods out.
Yeah.
When
good
you're
point.
traveling and walking or on public transportation, yeah, you do have to have your head on a little bit of a swivel. And so you can hear the meth head mumbling to himself behind you.
Yeah.
You just have to be a little street smart. You can't assume you're in Disneyland.
And I would never take the subway anywhere but around Manhattan. That's
But yeah,
that's the
I
other
mean,
tip.
So that it was really kind of a fun trip.
Good for you. I want to hear more about it.
Yeah.
I was in Louisiana in New Orleans, and my wife and I took a little side trip for a few days and drove around Cajun country in the New Iberia Parish, Lafayette, Louisiana, Houma. What's the other town? New Iberia. Went to Abbeville. Little places, little towns that no one except the locals know about because.
Did you go to the Acadian Village?
No, we did not.
Yeah, okay.
No, I did not go.
Yeah.
That's north. That's a little north of. I think it's up towards Baton Rouge.
I don't know. I think it's in Lafayette.
I didn't see Acadian Village anywhere. We were looking for things to do in Lafayette, and I didn't see that. So, be that as it may, we're primarily there to eat Cajun food, and I'll talk about that a little more later. And then saw my sister. Shout out to my sister Betsy.
Betsy, what's up?
Yeah. Betsy's a big fan of the pod here.
Big fan, Betsy.
And she met us in New Orleans, and we basically got off the plane, and she says, "I need a beignet." So we headed to the Café du Monde and got a beignet immediately. And then it was hot there, and then it got cold, and the storm came through. It was a crazy week in New Orleans. When we left, I think it was 15 degrees getting in the cab to come back here, and the high temperature that day, the last few days, has been like 30 degrees.
Yeah,
it's been. But it was so far south, it didn't get any of that extreme weather that hit even up Atlanta and Virginia and Texas and all that. That all sort of skated across the top. So we had no problem getting in and out.
Oh, that's good.
With the planes and everything. So that was that. And also got back, went to the Proper Sandwich Company because, again, producer Sammy sent us a missive from a listener, Casey. Thank you, Casey. And she said, "What do you think of Proper Sandwich?" We'll talk about that later. Went right there. Also went to Special Noodle because you know what I get a hankering for when we travel to all these places around the world is Asian food.
I know.
You come back, and I mean, and New York has great Asian food. So does L.A., blah, blah. But most of the time when you go other cities that aren't New York or L.A., what they don't have is, dozens of Vietnamese restaurants and Korean steakhouses and pho parlors and Chinese noodle shops and ramen bars. And so I really get a jonesing for that. So we went to Special Noodle. And then we went back to Wino to see our friend Pascal.
All right.
So those are the places I've been. We'll talk about them later, but let's now get to
the good stuff.
The good stuff, food news you can use.
Food news you can use. Look, I hear Valentine's Day is coming up, so
don't go out to eat.
Right. Right. What my compatriot over here said.
What do you really think, John?
Yeah. We both agree.
We talk about this every year.
Every year, it's stupid, stupid, stupid. This year, Valentine's Day happens to fall on a Saturday, so you're a little more sucked into the charade than normal. But I did the heavy lifting for you all. All you procrastinators, I sympathize with you. And I went through Open Table and Resi, and I looked as of Wednesday. These places still had reservations available for 2 on Valentine's Day with reasonable time slots, not like the 9 p.m.ers.
Yeah. You can eat at 5:30 or 9:45.
Yeah. So Main Street Provisions.
Love it.
Stubborn Seed in Resorts World.
Oh my God. Some of the greatest food you'll have in Las Vegas.
And free local parking.
Yes.
Elia Authentic Greek Taverna.
Incredible Greek stuff.
Fabulous. Ada's.
We all
Wine
love
Bar,
Ada's, right?
down here in the Arts District. Balla Italian Soul.
Underrated Italian in the Sahara Hotel.
Probably one of the most underrated restaurants right now. Bazaar Mar.
Expensive seafood, but worth it by Jose Andres.
And very, very beautiful build out for a
you
restaurant.
go in a classy place, top shelf place, Bazaar Mar would be right up at the top of my picks here.
Haleo.
Yes, of course.
And that's a fun one. I think Haleo is a great.
Yeah.
It's a vibrant kind of. If I, my Valentine took me to Haleo, I'd be happy.
You're more likely to get laid if you take her to Bazaar Mar, though, guys. Just saying.
True. Karama by Wolfgang Puck. Karama.
Oh yeah, Karama, which I went. Remember, I have you been? You haven't been
I
there?
haven't been.
See, we went 3 times when it first opened and loved it. It's in the Mandalay Bay, not exactly convenient to my house, but really, really good Italian food. Big restaurant, great pizzas, pie. One of those places you can spend as much or as little as you want to. Mm-hmm. Fantastic bar program, wine program. Yeah, Karama. And of course, Brezza.
Yeah, they still have open res.
Our friend Nicole Brisson. Yes, friend of the show, Nicole. So yeah, no, thank you. That is heavy lifting because those are about 10 restaurants, maybe 10, and these are great.
They're great restaurants. I filtered the bullshit out for you.
Yeah, this is not. These are highly recommended places by us, and I think by lots of people as the best in town. But what's our number one piece of advice? Don't go out on Valentine's Day. But number 2, if you're going to go, book now. Do not wait. You got to get that reservation lined up now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so there's that. While we were out of town, John, something big happened. I know.
Where's the shotgun? Put the toe in the shotgun right now.
Put the toe?
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. The James Beard semifinalists were announced. I know.
Yeah. You have the best. You and friend of the show Jeff Weiss have the best theory about this. So tell us.
I can't take credit for it, but Jeff Weiss is great, dear friend of the show. I really enjoy our conversations and discussions about food because I learn a lot. I'm the amateur here. I just love food. I love traveling and learning all things. And one of the great things that was pointed out to me when these awards were announced was the semifinalist phase is really PR for James Beard.
Or as I like to call it, a joke. But go ahead.
Yeah. So
because everybody gets an award.
It's the Oprah. You get a semifinalist. You get a semifinalist. You get an award. You get an award. You get an award. Granted, they do recognize legitimate restaurants, and you look at the list, and I don't think anywhere on there is truly laughable.
Oh. Bad. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't look at the whole
but
thing.
I'm not going to I'm not here to harpoon anybody, but let's just say that there are at least half of them made me chortle or throw up depending on how I felt that moment because how stupid it was they got nominated.
Okay, but the theory is James Beard does James Beard a service by having all these restaurants get a semifinalist because what do all the restaurants do? They go out and they post about getting recognized as a semifinalist by the James Beard Foundation. So it is PR for the James Beard Foundation.
And by doing this, they literally get hundreds and hundreds of restaurants around the country talking about, look at my, and I do think that they have tweaked or ginned up these nominations now in a different way than they used to, because everybody started talking about these as semifinalists. Remember, I used to vote on this thing for some years, but now it's been over a decade. But back in the day, they listed the nominations. There was a whole list of nominations, and then there was a semifinalist list. Then there was a finalist, and then there was the final awards. Oh. Now, I think they are now calling whoever's been nominated is a semifinalist. And yes, I think it's been changed.
Do these I guess the numbers, add up to how.
Yeah, see quite frankly, and this is, I'll readily admit this. I don't give a shit enough to really dive deep into this because I think they're such a joke. But I think that's what they're doing, just for the reason that Ash and Chef Weiss mentioned. Now they call them semifinalists. In the past, there would be, here are our nominations, and there might be 10 places nominated from Las Vegas, not 14. And then you would go, well, that's interesting. And then as a voter, anybody could nominate, but then the voters would get together, and I was one of like 500 in the country, and then you would vote, and then they would winnow it down to the semifinalists, which would be a smaller list. Like there might be 10 in a category nationwide, and then there would be like 3 finalists or 4 finalists for the final award. And now I think they're just jumping right ahead, eliminating the nomination phase or calling it something differently so people can trumpet it as being semifinalists, like they had to get past anything, when in fact all they had to do was get nominated by all the ballot stuffing, by all the PR people, which is what is really behind all this stuff.
That's what I was going to ask you. Who does the initial? It's all PR companies?
It's all PR.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the food gal would not let me say this, where I'm sitting in a hotel room and I saw these, and I'm like, my eyes are rolling so back hard in my head, she can see them bouncing off the ceiling. And I wanted to tweet out, congratulations, Las Vegas. You finally learned the art of ballot stuffing. Okay. And that's really what this is all about. The game has been figured out by restaurants and the public relations people and the influencers and the way they can game the system to get this kind of recognition. It's been out there. It's been pretty obvious now for 20 years, but it really now everybody's figured it out. So you get a PR person, you get a Sammy, and Sammy and her friends sit there and
it's now
just
all AI.
And whatever, and you just bombard them with nominations, and they go, well, look at all these people that are nominating, some joke of a restaurateur. I will not mention the one in town as a nominee, even though they run crappy restaurants that nobody goes to. Okay.
So let's go through it.
No, I'm not going to comment individually.
Well, you basically did, because there's only one restaurateur nominated from Vegas. But Best Chef Southwest, here's who we have from Vegas only. I'm only doing Ule Cisse Fisher. I apologize if I mispronounced your name. From Calabash African Kitchen.
This is me biting my tongue.
I know. Brian Howard, Sparrow and Wolf. Yuri
Sarzaweski.
There you go. Of
From
Partage.
Now, those were the 2 I looked at and went, it's about time. Yes.
Sarah Thompson, Casa Playa from the Win. I think she was in this last year.
Yeah, of course. They got a whole PR department making sure she gets her name out there.
They're trying really hard for Casa Playa, which I don't get. Jamie Tran, Black Sheep.
Good for Jamie.
James Trees, Barbo M.
Of course.
Outstanding restaurateur, Elizabeth Blau from Blau and Associates, which is behind Buddy V's, and the cake boss guy that has the little cake by a cake. And Honey Salt. Emerging chef Ellie Parker, Main Street Provisions.
Well, you got to give it to Ellie because she just won Top Chef Masters, right?
Yes. Or Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen.
Sorry,
Sorry, Ellie.
But yes, I think that all tracks. Best new restaurant are my personal favorite over here, Tamba. I was over there stuffing ballots for them.
Deservedly so.
Outstanding pastry chef or baker, Kimberly McIntosh of Milkfish Bake Shop. Outstanding wine and other beverages program, Ada's Wine Bar. What is it? Ada's? Ada's. Wine bar.
Again, deserved, and they've already won some international awards for their wine program. So it's obvious that they belong in this category. They should win. I'm 4 square behind them.
Best new bar, Nocturno.
Okay.
The John whimper. I need to cut that just so whenever something happens, we can just do that.
I love Nocturno. There's a dozen great bars, and I'm not sure that's any better or worse than another 10 bars in downtown.
How did you pick between Nocturno, the Doberman, Liquid Diet,
Ginza,
Petit Bohème?
Yeah, that's again the absurdity of these awards. But keep going.
Outstanding Professional and Beverage Service is our buddy Bank Acharawan from Japata.
Well, Bank probably deserved it 15 years ago, so good for him.
And Outstanding Professional in Cocktail Service is Mariana Mercer Boarini from Aft Cocktail Deck, which is also in the win.
That's a win ballot stuffing nomination, yes.
Yeah, because I would say professional in cocktail service, that woman over at the Doberman.
Jen.
Yes.
Jen,
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Right.
But hey, for all of the shit we give the James Beard Awards.
Some of these are worthy.
Some of these are worthy. And all I am happy about is if this helps move the needle at all for tourism to Vegas or any of these restaurants who are our buddies to get more business, quality customers, I'm all in.
Yeah, and okay, again, you know what I think about the awards, but Brian Howard should have won one 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay? He should have. I mean, Brian was a pioneer and still does great work at Sparrow and Wolf. So, yeah. So, let's see what happens. Now we go from the semifinalists to the finalists, and then the awards.
It gets more real.
It gets more real, and so I imagine 2 or 3 of these will make it through to the finalist phase. I'm rooting for a few of them. Yes.
Me too. Okay. Let's see what else we got. So another fun update. I normally don't talk about this place because it's up in Tivoli Village, and I don't like going up there. But when I was at Ada's, the chef Evan and Adam were there from Al Solito Posto, and they're talking about the new chef's tasting of pasta. They do this chef's pasta tasting experience.
Where's this now?
Al Solito Posto at Tivoli Village.
You lost me.
I know. I don't have it on the notes. I know. Day job. Attorney by day. Attorney by day. I didn't have time to update the brief,
I'm an
counselor.
old infirm man. I need all the guidance I can get here.
I know. So Al Solito.
Don't throw me curveballs.
Today is all curveballs. Al Solito Posto is doing a chef's pasta tasting where you sit at a chef's table. They do it on Tuesday nights.
That sounds like fun.
It's 6 courses, and you can do a wine pairing. It's just very small, different types of pasta. So it's not overwhelming, and it's not stuff that you can get on the menu. It's highly curated and unique. And yeah, so I thought that was worth sharing.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday night up at Al Solito Posto. What else do we have, John?
China Mama adds 2 more spots.
Yeah. So
what?
I know China Mama's expanding again.
They've
been bought. In 2017, they were bought out by this company, Ivy Ma. They acquired the brand.
Well, yes. I remember when Ivy Ma bought it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now they're going to have 8 total, not 18.
Well, again, Ivy Ma bought the original China Mama, which I thought was kind of cool because Ivy Ma, China Mama. And it arrived with a splash about 2010, I think. And I remember Max Jacobson and I just went crazy for it. I remember it's one of the places I took when I squired a bunch of James Beard, the actual the board of directors of James Beard came to town, I think in 2009, 2010. And I think it was 10, or 11. Anyway, I took them there, China Mama, and it was just the bomb. And we had a giant table. I think they had 14 people at the table. Oscar Goodman came and spoke. It was quite the night. And but then it kind of, I don't know if it fell on hard times. It got complacent, whatever. It sort of lost its mojo in the ensuing years. And then Ivy Ma came along in 2017 and really breathed new life into it. And then what was it, like a year ago, 2 years ago, they went from like one restaurant to 2 or 3, and then they had 6, and now they're going to have 8. So I think
it's almost like when the one burned down.
Yeah,
it ignited this like.
Well, it tells me that Ivy Ma is a sharp businesswoman who probably found an investor to give her a giant infusion of cash
Yeah.
to do this. So good for her, because the food is really good. Spring, I've only been twice, but I loved it. We've been back to the original China Mama. There's 2 of them in Chinatown. I mean, it's still a great all-purpose Chinese restaurant with the best xiaolong bao in town.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's
I
right
think
up there with Shanghai taste.
the one going up in Summerlin, I think, is their China Mama Express, where it's mostly takeout. But there's usually a few tables, but still, it's...
Have you been to Hao Chi on West Charleston?
I love it.
The food gal loves that one.
It's my hack. Whenever I want China Mama, but I don't want to worry about the whole line, I just go to Hao Chi, because now they have more of the
original
full,
stuff. Yeah.
Yep. What else? Boom Bang Fine Food and Cocktails. They're coming downtown. You remember that place out in Henderson?
Yes, I do. I liked it. What did I say? The Hollywood thing? I liked it, but I didn't love it. Okay. But I did like it. Okay. And
it's one of these places that I think if you live in Henderson, people love it. If you don't live in Henderson, if you've gone, you really enjoyed it. You just couldn't justify the drive to go out there. So now...
Yeah, it's way out there.
Downtown Las Vegas is getting one per the city council. They voted them in to...
In the Civic Center, which is the new thing that just opened in basically the old courtyard of City Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And so where I used to work, and when I looked at it, it was a parking lot. Now it's going to be this great, vibrant city building. Good for Boom Bang. And I would like to try their food again.
And then last but not least on our food news for the show is Vegas Unstripped, the chef-driven culinary event festival, has announced their date, April 26th at the Palms Casino again from 6 to 9 p.m. You can go buy your tickets already at vegasunstripped.com. Remember, it all goes to charity. I think they're like $150.
It's a deal.
It is incredible.
The best
steal.
restaurants in town putting out their best stuff. Oh my gosh.
The chefs are out there putting out unique stuff. So they force them to put out dishes that aren't on their menus. There's cocktails that you can't find in their restaurant menus. The other really cool thing that I didn't realize is the people behind Vegas Unstripped, they actually curate and make sure that not everyone is showing up making pizzas, or not everyone is showing up doing the same thing. They're making certain that it is a great menu for when you show up, you're getting a few of everything, and you're not going to get overwhelmed with one style of food.
And the chefs are all there, and the owners are there, and talking to you, and you can eat and drink yourself silly. It's a great deal. And of course, I thought you were going to say the highlight of it is always me savoring the champagne.
Sabrage.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year.
Sam tried to kill somebody, didn't he?
Maybe. We might have gotten into a little legal hot water, shallow end.
Never happens when I do that.
Yeah, so
I may be on site to do that again this year, but love Vegas Unstripped.
And my pro tip for these festivals is, as annoying as it is to sometimes walk around and eat standing up, get the VIP ticket, get in early.
Yeah.
It is so much nicer getting in before the masses. It's a totally different experience.
Right. And usually it's only about an hour though, right?
It's quick.
But you got to be there. Well, if it says the VIP opens at 6, get there at 5:30.
Mm-hmm. The line will already be there.
Yeah, and you just get in, and you can hit half a dozen places really quick before there's people really making it tough. And that's a very good tip. It's always the best.
Okay, so that's all the food news I have for you.
Then, you want to take a quick break, and then we'll talk about a little mini rundowns of where we've been, and I have a couple of pet peeves that
you've got a couple?
I'm dying to get off the chest.
They're building up, people. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back, go to our rundown of where we've been. I think we maybe have a few listener questions and emails, and can't wait.
I'm the best.
Personal injury law has been the same for a long time.
The best.
Big egos, greed, and sleazy schemes. We've had enough. Welcome to Sam and Ash, the new standard for personal injury law, where things are done the right way, because you deserve a team that delivers real support and results. When you have both, your whole world can change. Sam and Ash Injury Law, because you deserve what's right.
All right, we're ready back. Social. Okay.
Pop music. Pop music.
You think this is always going to be our theme?
No.
I think sooner or later we're gonna.
Well, the goal is sooner or later we make money and we monetize this, and then they tell us we can't use this.
And then we
music.
pay somebody else for some other music.
Yeah.
I know some of these, the royalties on some of these get steep, but personally, I think it should be Green Onions by Booker T and the MGs.
Okay, well,
The instrumental. You know,
That's a great song.
it is a great song. It's kind of vibey
groovy.
and groovy. Yeah, I mean, it's just, but but to Sam credit who picked this one. This really gets you in an up mood.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, this pop music just gets you sitting up. And rather than Booker T and the MGs, it's just kind of groovy and cool, kind of like Dave Brubeck, Take Five. It's that kind of. So it's a difference between mellowness and I don't know. But anyway, and I guess in personality, I'm more
We get soulful
pop music.
strut. Get soulful strut up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's your theme song when you're walking around town.
I've got one of them. I can't remember who does it. It's called Hot Barbecue. It's a great one. I'll bring it in sometime. Hot Barbecue today. Or Watermelon Man by Herbie Hancock.
Love
Watermelon Man. Isn't that good? I mean, think about all the great food tunes we have.
I always love, you always get in my car and you listen to the music and you go, how old are you?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think when I start listening, your playlist is twice your age.
Yeah.
Okay, it is.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so let me go first. I'll do my quick rundown. Ada's went back. The first time we went, I don't know what happened. We went with a group. I loved it. I was so happy that it was downtown in the Arts District. I don't know if I didn't even eat a lot. I didn't remember anything. It didn't seem as memorable as it was when it was up in Tivoli Village. So I was really excited to get back to Ada's and ordered everything again. But damn, that food just knocked my socks off. And
it slaps, no cap.
It slaps, no cap. And one of the really fun things that happened while we were there is there's this dish that came out. Remember the toast that had the brie, the whipped brie and figs on it? And none of us really liked it.
Well, we were just kind of meh about it. Not bad, just it didn't excite us.
So we ordered it again.
Yeah.
And while it comes out, James Trees had walked in and was talking to us, and he goes, "What do you think of that?" And we tried it, and I go, "My take is the bread is just too thick or something. It just the balance.
It was
is
too
off."
bready. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And he goes, "I knew it," and so he goes, "Let me try something." So James Trees runs to the back and takes his hoodie off and turns his hat on backwards and does that voodoo that he does, and he comes out and he puts down a different version, and it night and day difference.
Really?
And the trick was,
is it brie? Is it ricotta? What is it on the top?
I think it's brie. I think it's he added he did this butter dish. He added soaked it in butter basically before.
And that's why they're professional chefs and you're not.
And it was really
We're
fun because Chef Jackson Stamper came out. He tried it. They talked on it and brainstormed and implemented it. And it was just really kind of cool to see artists at their craft. And love Ada's. Yeah,
Ada's and the wine again, Kat in the wine program there, and we may have talked about this 2 weeks ago, but I was speaking to some restaurant insiders, some of the booze suppliers who are friends of mine, who they give you the real skinny on these restaurants because they'll tell you who's ordering what and who's selling what alcohol in these restaurants. And I mean, the skinny on Ada's is, on a slow night out in Tivoli Village, they were sometimes doing 20 or 30 covers a night. And on a slow night down here, they're doing 50, 60 covers. So that's, that explains why they moved and is a success right out of the chute because, they're just getting more traction here in spite of the fact that Tivoli Village is, surrounded by rich people, the richest, wealthiest neighborhoods in Las Vegas, but people with zero taste, by the way. So that's why they came down here. So good for them.
Great for them. Yeah. And I can confirm this. On Monday evening, I was walking by at around 6 o'clock, 6:30-ish, packed.
Yeah.
Monday night.
Yeah, good.
Middle of January, packed.
Yeah, and it just has a buzz and great. And I think it's going to be good for everybody. I think Garage East is going to benefit from it. I think Taco Terrian's going to benefit from it. So good. So you love that. We went to Viking Mike's. Wasn't that a hoot?
It was so great.
Talk about insider scoop. Talking to Jared.
It was really, really a fantastic experience. We said we're going to go back there and do another interview with them now that it's settled and built, actually, rather than a full-blown construction zone. The sausage and food program is
insane.
It's
like incredible.
I think it's going to fly over most people's heads. Like they're just going to think, they're just going to think it's just sausages or skewers.
Yeah,
or
what's
whatever.
the big deal? It's just a little sliced sausage. I mean, you know how hard it is to make those sausages well.
Yeah, they're not coming off a Cisco truck, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Those things are handmade, really artisanal.
Dan Coughlin has been sweating over them and getting it right, now for months to get the recipes right.
And the traditional bratwurst has one type of grind, and the Italian one has a different coarseness of the grind. The little accoutrements and dips are naturally lacto-fermented sauerkraut and just really...
And we did some like steak skewers too, didn't we?
Steak skewers were really, really incredible. I'm trying to think of what else. We had the cheese board.
Yeah. You can fill up on this stuff for not a lot of money, or you can just use it as, toothpick food, just to nibble before you go somewhere else. And I thought it was great. The greatest thing too was we finally pinned Jared down as what his last name was. Remember that? Because if you look on now Jared J. or Jared Howard or Jared King. he has different names on all his different socials. And so I said, Jared, what in the is your last name? And he get through this whole thing that he was a DJ at one point. He was Jared King, and his middle name is Jay, so he likes that. But his real last name is Howard. But depending on where you follow him, and by the way, he's the guy who's the owner behind Vesta Coffee and now Viking Mike's. It was fun to hear him.
And the important, hard-hitting questions.
But it was fun. We talked about the Tony Hsieh controversies. I mean, Jared knows where all the bodies are buried downtown. He's been here for a long time, and it's fascinating to get the insider scoop from these guys.
And I loved the cocktail program.
Oh yeah, I mean he's just one of. I mean, there are now dozens of people like that. It's from James Trees to Todd Marshall, who's the real estate developer, and Jay Dapper, and I mean, all of these, and Cherry. I saw.
I know who you're talking about.
Yes,
Sam Cherry.
Sam, thank you. I just glitched on. Sorry, Sam. Ran into him at the pizza place at Gorilla Pizza. I mean, these are the movers and shakers down here, both at the wholesale and retail end of this stuff. But it's great to get to know them and get to know Weena Zhang over here. I mean, when you get to know them, you see, you see how the sausage is made.
Yes.
But it's fascinating.
The thing that I find really endearing about this Alpine Yurt bar is the build out is stunning and beautiful, and it's one of those Instagrammable, clickbaity things where people would go no matter what, just so they can have their picture in front of the antler walls or in the circle yurt bar or in front with the fur all around. With that said, you could phone it in. You could build a
you could. Oh, yeah. You could do it at 80% cheaper if you wanted to.
You could.
But they didn't.
They didn't. This is really, really special stuff. And then also, they're not skimping on the cocktails or food. They're making sure it is a top-notch experience.
Well, because it's kind of like the rising tide raises all boats, but the competition is also keen down here. I mean, if you put out, especially in the cocktail and wine and booze program now, beer, booze, or wine, you put out an inferior product, people are just going to...
With that build...
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually, it would be interesting to see. I bet you they could have pulled... I think they could probably do just fine with an inferior product. Maybe not.
You mean the build out, but just
phone in everything else.
Standard issue draft beers and that kind of thing.
Snacks.
Oh yeah. Right
because
off
people still want to they want to be in the vibe, the scene, the cool. So
you know why? Because millennials are idiots.
It's not us.
It's Gen Zers, yes.
Gen Zers.
Please,
so be nice.
You're now becoming the smart people. Okay.
Yes.
And by the way, it's the Circle Yurt Bar, not the Circle Jerk Bar, gentlemen. Okay.
There's a circle nowhere in the name, actually. It is Viking Mike's Alpine Yurt Bar.
You said Circle Yurt, and I thought, ooh.
I did? Oh,
Yes,
the
yes.
Circle Yurt in the...
Yeah. If y'all want to get
I
together
think we've
for
got a title for the podcast,
if
the
you
Circle
want-
Yurt.
This is one giant Circle
Circle
Yurt today. Okay. All right. So that's so tell me a little more about the Golden Steer.
The Golden Steer, Nick and Amanda, co-owners now of the Golden Steer here in Vegas. They took it over from Amanda's father, Michael Signorelli. And what they've done here in Vegas was impressive, trying to level everything up from food to decor, service, top notch. They've now taken that all to the Golden Steer, New York City. They've opened at 1/5, and it's a legendary restaurant space. You said off air that you've been in it.
2 other places there. Yeah. Going back to the 80s. Yeah.
The build out they did spared no expense.
I saw the pictures. That looks spectacular. Yeah.
Really incredible what they did. The beautiful bar they built, it's kind of an homage to the original bar that was in there with mirrors everywhere, glass, lighting. It's sexy. And there's black leather booths in this one part of the restaurant that they call the Strip, which is cute. Little ode to here, and then the rest of it is all the red leather booths, and they have a showgirl room that can be a PDR. They've also got, I think, the Rat Pack room can be a PDR. All the tableside service, same thing, Caesar salads, but they're in glass bowls.
Yeah.
They're not in the plastic bowls.
Thank God you listened to me, Amanda. You listened to me. Thank you.
And I wouldn't be too shocked if the glass made its way out here soon.
Yeah. Well, that's... We purists have always been critical of them for that little fox paw.
They're doing the same menu. I think the prices are pretty comparable. Much bigger kitchen, so they've got the chance to do a little bit more food items.
Similar menu?
Similar.
Yeah.
They don't have the same Italian. I didn't see.
Yeah, I thought they did just ditch that. Because,
yeah.
I have a very old from the 70s menu back in the day, the Golden Steer was as much an Italian restaurant as it was a steakhouse. It was.
Yeah, and I think
half the menu was Italian. They had a whole right side of the menu Italian specialties, and there were dozens of them.
it still is. They still have eggplant parmesan, chicken. They have all the toasted raviolis. They've got meatballs, but I don't recall seeing any of that on the
old one used to have veal marsala, chicken marsala, veal scallopini. They did the whole thing. Well, insider tip, folks. If you don't mind flying to New York, you probably can get a table at that Golden Steer easier than you can at this Golden Steer.
And you might like it a little more.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
I loved it. I was actually envious. I kind of wish that one was here.
Well, I'm going to be back east sometime in the next 6 months, and I'll probably make it a point to go to New York, and I will make it a point to book the Golden Steer there. Yeah, I'm cautiously pessimistic about his chances there. Okay,
it's tough. Like we were talking earlier, everywhere you turn, there's a restaurant, a steakhouse, a bagel place, a pizza shop. So opening any restaurant, I think, in there is an uphill
Making
climb.
a mark is tough. The competition is keen, and to steakhouse, New York, there must be 40 great steakhouses in just in Manhattan alone. So that's what makes me kind of wonder, how are they going to we were talking about it off the air. How are they going to find that spark, that little niche, that little social media, twist that excites the people to go there beyond just we're a very, very good steakhouse?
Well, the fun fact is it's arguably harder to resurrect a dead brand than it is to create a new one. And they did it here with this one.
Yeah.
That thing was on Groupon before they got involved.
Oh, yeah. In 2017, 18, you could have walked in there on Saturday night and gotten a table for 6 people.
Yes.
Come on in.
So I think that's a harder climb sometimes to make, to resurrect something from the dead. But what they have now, it's going to be interesting. I'm rooting for them. And I think everything that we had that night was top notch.
You check out the wine list. Kester Macias,
yeah.
Macias, I think. He's doing the wine program.
Kester was a huge assistance in them because he's from New York. Originally. Yeah. And I think he worked under Will Godara at some point. And so he
knows that landscape. Okay. Yeah.
crazy enough, remember how we always talk about prime steaks? Everyone's got prime anymore.
Yeah. It's not the unique thing that it was 20 years ago.
Amanda was telling me you have to get prime. There's grading within prime in New York, whereas out here in most markets you just get prime. But in in New York City, you're going, I need prime 1A.
Right, and there are certain people like Luger and other very well-known steakhouses that have been dealing with these purveyors forever, and it's just like any other business. The good customer, it's all prime, but these guys, they come to the front of the line. They get the first choice, and what you're getting is not bad, but it's not the very, very first.
Well, first you're getting a who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
What the fuck do you want? What the fuck do you want?
And why should I be talking to you? You know.
And so
take a seat, buddy. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. We can't root against them. I want them to succeed. I want to have a great steakhouse there. I love New York steakhouses. I mean, before I ever started writing about food, when I was back in the 80s, I lived back in the New York area, and I was in Wolfgang Steakhouse, Peter Luger, Sparks, Gallagher's. I went to all of them. Okay, back then, the original Palm 2. Some oldsters who are listening will know what I'm talking about. These were the steakhouses that put American steakhouses on the map in the early 20th century, and nobody did it better than New York back then. I mean, then there was the later ones like Porterhouse came on. It's closed, unfortunately, but I mean, there was just always. I mean, Chris Cella. God, I could talk about these. Ben Benson's. I mean, these are, some of these have closed, but talk about iconic. They were just, when you went to New York, you went to these steakhouses, and now the template has kind of gone all over the United States. It's in Miami, it's in Seattle, it's in Kansas City, it's in Dallas, but back then New York was the bomb for great steaks.
Well, then I'm excited for you to go and do a great comparison, because I'm a novice. I don't know. Yeah,
well, I'll be there with bells on.
And you know what? If you give me enough notice, I'll just get on a red eye.
We'll get on a red eye. Homie's getting a little old for the red eyes.
Yeah, so I love the Golden Steer. I love Nick and Amanda.
It's good for them.
If anyone can do this and accomplish this, it is them. Everything about the new space was fabulous. If you find yourself in New York and need a place to go, 10 out of 10 recommend.
Okay, so zipping right along here. Got to do that. You went to Garage East, of course, saw our friend Eric.
Yeah.
I came back. I already said, the food gal and I always crave Asian food. So we're barely off the plane. We generally, we travel so much. We get back to the house. We get our dirty clothes in the washing machine right away. We're both showering. And then we're freshen up from the shower and we go, Chinatown. That's what we do. We just go Chinatown. And so we went to Special Noodle. It was practically empty because it was late in the day. It was in between lunch and dinner. But I mean, I got Dan noodles, and we got some of these thick dumplings with pork and chives, and she got these green beans. I mean, it just blew me away. Special Noodle was great. It's on Decatur. It's just a block off Spring Mountain Road on Decatur, on South Decatur. But it's kind of an unsung great Chinese restaurant.
It's kind of new, right?
Well, yeah, I think it opened last year. Yeah. They still have the grand opening or soft. I don't know. They have some opening soon thing on the sign. Service is great. You order off one of those freaking iPads.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, but the guys are nice. I mean, this is our third time. We walk in, a lot of little Chinese smattering of families there, and very nice service. The food comes out great, and I think they're connected to another Special Noodle somewhere else. But I really like the stuff there. If you want Chinese noodles and all their permutations, and then we went to the proper sandwich place, and I got the Italian hoagie. Friend of the show, JB, goes, "It has giardiniera on it. It's not a hoagie." Details. They call it a hoagie. Okay, don't talk to me about this. I love when I post something and my friends or not friends go, "No, that's not right. That's not what's on that." I'm like, don't tell me.
Also, who follows the fucking rules?
To call them up, and they call it an Italian hoagie. And it was just a cold cut of really top shelf capicola, mortadella, your favorite, cheese, giardiniera, soft, squishy bun, Italian dressing on it, tightly wrapped. I mean, the food gal doesn't really like that kind of sandwich, but she had to admit, she said, this is really well done. So, I mean, between cured and whey and proper sandwich, I mean, the south end of town is like the microclimate of great sandwiches.
Oh, and what was the one I found a while ago? Oh gosh, I gotta find it. There's a great sandwich shop over there on like Sunset, and
Okay.
we talked about it on the show.
Yeah, we did. Yes, it has an Italian name.
Yes.
Yes, and that's another good one. Yes.
Incredible.
And it escapes me right now.
Yes.
So I won't remember it. But yes, I went there, liked it. But I'm telling you, the proper sandwich, and the food guy has been there before. I can't wait to go back and try their hot pastrami. Right next to it, I mean, literally you can throw a rock across the street that the Hat is coming in with their pastrami from L.A., that franchise pastrami. So I don't know about the Hat, but apparently it's a big deal in SoCal.
It is an incredibly big deal.
Okay, so good for them.
You will eat one pastrami sandwich and you will be fed for a week.
Yeah, well, it's like Langers. It's like
Yeah.
it's like Katz's. Yeah, they come out like this big.
Panino. Panino is the Italian.
Panino, yes, Panino.
I can't take credit for it. The little laptop over here.
Okay.
I just did
you're
Italian
supposed to
deli
just go-
sandwich sunset. Google. I got it.
Well, I'm telling you, I've had now 2 sandwiches in the proper sandwich shop, and I'm kind of glad it's so far from my house because I would be there a lot. It's that good. Okay. So thank you, Casey, for reminding me to go there. And then just a brief word. I went back to Wino and saw our friend Pascal. Wino is really nice. The new one at the
Summerlin Resort or
the resort at
Summerlin
Summerlin now, or the ramp. Well, they changed the name so many times, but it's a gorgeous place. Great wine list. Our friend Pascal, of course, is there every night. Small plates, all of them delicious. Sean McLean is behind it. The same guy behind Bottle Italian Soul, and I'm just if. It is the wine bar on the northwest side of town. I mean, it just is. I mean, yes, it's in a casino. There's a way to park, and that's a real confusing casino. Like there's like 4 different segments to it. But there's a place you can park kind of around the back where it's kind of just a short walk into Wino, and you have to walk through part of the casino, but not a lot of it. The parking is free.
Free parking.
There you
Free
go.
parking.
And wine lovers in the northwest side of town, you need to make a new home of heading out to Wino. And they're going to do all kinds of things. And now, I'm sorry because I just got back from my vacation. Actually, I'm on vacation every day of the week these days. But they told me there's some special thing they're doing.
There is. I just got an email.
On Tuesday, I think, right?
On the 4th? Is Tuesday the 4th? No, Wednesday. Next Wednesday, the 4th, they're doing a Margaux Uncorked with the Maestro of Merlot. Axel Hines of Chateau Les Combes.
Whoa, very nice.
Yeah, I saw
the
that.
night we were there, we saw Bordeaux Bob, and he was doing a big tasting of his Bordeaux wine. So I'm telling you.
Well, this one's caught my eye, and it's $65 a ticket, February 4th, Wednesday at 6 p.m. The winemakers there from Chateau Les Combes. You get 3 Chateau wines from 2022 release, a welcome pour of Champagne Philippinat.
Philippinat, one of the good ones.
And paired with Bordeaux-friendly tasting bites.
Well, when we were there 10 days ago, it was jammed. I mean, it was like a midweek kind of thing, too. So check out Wino. And then just a few words about New Orleans. Kind of was disappointed. I'm not going to go through it. If you follow me on my social, you can see what I wrote. I went to the Cajun country because I was really looking forward to eating some down-home food, kind of the way like I've done barbecue crawls through Texas and North Carolina and Kansas City. I go to these little towns that are known for their various foodstuffs. And I was sort of hoping to do that in the Cajun country, but I found out quickly after 3 days there and talking to some restaurateurs that between Katrina 20 years ago and the Great Recession 17 years ago and COVID of 5 years ago, a lot of the great small places that made Cajun country in Southwest Louisiana so famous and made Cajun food such a big deal like 30 years ago, they've all sort of gone out of business. So as my wife said, it seems like the food culture here has been hollowed out by the recession, and I think it has been. We found half a dozen really nice restaurants. People are great. It was driving through the swamps of the Louisiana is so different than anything you see in the West, certainly, and that was fascinating. But I would say the restaurant experience of you can only eat so many hush puppies and so many fried crawfish. You get a little tired of it after a while. But so we went back. Then we spent a week in New Orleans, and I love New Orleans. I think it's I call it sui generis. It's one of the few indigenous, authentic restaurant cultures that's all of itself left in America. I mean, New York might be the greatest restaurant food town in the world. San Francisco has its charm, Chicago does, Miami does, but there's something very, very small and personal about the local ingredients and the cooking styles and the Creole and Cajun influences and the chefs and the river fish and the oysters from the Gulf. They all come together in New Orleans. It's just a one-of-a-kind food culture, and I just love it there. I go to a lot of the old places, of course. As soon as I go to places, they go, you're an old guy just going to old restaurants. Why don't you try new places? And I do as well. But, it's great to go to restaurants that have been in business for 120 years, okay?
Yeah, it does get tiring trying the newest, latest craze, and you're like, are you going to be here in 2 years?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they got a James Beard Award. Okay, fine. Just to pick on them again. So we always go to places like Arnaud's, and I'm telling you, people think that Vegas is a booze culture. I mean, New Orleans is the booze culture capital of America. It's the booziest place I've ever been. I mean, you walk around. We're walking into bars at 11 o'clock in the morning. You want a Sazerac, sir?
Actually, yeah. I do.
I mean, there's bars everywhere. And I'll tell you, it doesn't smell bad anymore.
Oh.
I thought it was crazy, but...
Winter.
No, remember, I've been there. I've gone there several times in the last few years. The streets, I mean, Bourbon Street is still kind of a toilet, but it's not big as a toilet as Fremont Street, and it smells better. And the people, for all the drunks there and all the partiers and all the bars that spill out onto the street, I think it feels cleaner and just not as seedy and gritty as our own Fremont Street. And they've done a really good job of cleaning the streets up.
Wow.
I mean, it seems like they steam clean them, like not just Bourbon Street, but all the side streets throughout the French Quarter, and we stay a little bit out of the French Quarter. So I was kind of impressed by. I mean, it's pothole city, kind of the worst.
Oh yeah.
I put up pictures on Twitter. I can't believe they haven't bankrupted the city of New Orleans.
Oh, I saw those.
Oh, I mean, and those were the little ones. Sometimes we're walking and there will be a hole about this big around, and it will go down like 1.5 feet, 2 feet. And I go, and as you're walking up to it, it just looks like, if you're just, you and I are sitting there with cocktails in hand and we're half in the bag, ankle snap.
Oh.
I mean, they're all over the place
My
like
ankle
this.
hurts just thinking about that.
It's crazy, but clean. So
So when your face is on the pavement, it'll at least be clean.
So anyway, overall, I mean, I've been going to New Orleans since the 60s when I was a kid, and I just love the food there. I just do.
I have one specific memory from my trip in New Orleans, and it was being up too late, two. I've got one from the Carousel Bar, but the worst was, the best one is from the Acme Oyster.
Yeah.
I went there,
right there.
And I was...
Famous place, yeah.
It had to have been the morning. I don't even know what time. Just sitting there waiting, watching some guy shuck oysters right in front of you, just mesmerizing.
Yeah.
But very good.
Yeah. And well, now with the influence of the Instagram and whatnot, some of these places like Acme Oyster Bar, you have to get there. You get there when they open. There's already 100 people waiting in line to get in.
Stupid.
Yeah. But we had, one thing we had too of with my sis. Well, the beignets are great. We had the muffalettas there at two places,
yes.
Napoleon House and Central Grocery.
Central's the OG?
OG, but Napoleon House is a warm one. The one you get at Central Grocery, it's cold. But that big, round, fluffy bread, but not too fluffy. And then they just pack it with cold cuts and jardiniere. Oh, my God. I mean, and they always, they sell them by the whole sandwich, which will feed a family of 6, or a half for a quarter. So, but I mean,
is there mortadella on that? There is, huh?
I think there is. There's mortadella, there's capicola, there's a salami, I think there's a ham. I think there's 3 or 4 kinds of meat and cheese.
But it's buried in there enough. I would eat it.
And they smash it, and it's really tightly compacted. God, do I love a good muffaletta. So... Okay, so let's get to let's wrap it up here with a few listener comments and questions.
All right, you go.
Who do we got here? Casey, we talked to you. Thank you. David Y. Hello, John and Ash. I met you guys at my job at Joe's Seafood, and we are about to start a mobile caviar service and having a launch party at Petite Bohème Thursday, February 12th at 5 p.m. I will go and try not to make fun of caviar, David Y. Good luck, okay? And then the Happy Landings Joe P. of the Evel Knievel Museum moving downtown. We can actually watch it being constructed from where we're sitting right now. Mm-hmm. They're coming to the Arts District, and they've been listening to the podcast and rely on it as we are moving our museum to the Arts District. What's a good place to eat down that way?
By South Point.
I can't, homie, don't go there. I mean, I get nervous if I get more than 3 miles outside of downtown. South Point Casino. I mean, Michael's? Steak and Shake.
We'll get back to you on that one.
But thank you, Joe P. David K., thank you for the for the newsletter. David K. approves. But how many get this main social, Chris, at Mighty Albu. I believe that the Wynn is one of the very few financially stable casinos. Probably true, their stock went through the roof in 2025. Top-notch guy at the head of F&B, giving people some novelty and a space with some of the best spots in Vegas. Yes and no. I like the Wynn is top shelf all the way, but I'm not sure it's as innovative in a gastronomically speaking as it was from.
Oh, this is in response to your post. You shitting on their experience. Remember, you shared the.
I shit on lots of things. You gotta remind me where the shatting.
What was it? It was the
occurred.
Food event, right? It's the viral video.
Your reaction may seem to be performative arrogance to some. Not me. You're just a grumpy old lawyer. You get me. You really get me.
What is? Let me find. It's a funny video on.
Oh yes, the one I said. That's my pet peeve, Chris. Yeah. I mean, they literally put out an ad on all social media saying, "Here are our viral dishes." I'll just segue to my pet peeve right now.
We're there, baby.
I mean, I'm sorry, Chris. But this is just bullshit, okay?
Wait, I
put it on. They literally are advertising their new seafood restaurant, Pisces, by the way, good restaurant, with here are the viral dishes that we have. We have now dumbed ourselves down to the influencer level so badly that we're not going to advertise food based upon how it tastes or what the chefs are doing or the passion of the cooks or the creativity of the cooks. We are going to just advertise the photogenic virality of the frickin' food. And I'm sorry, that cheeses me off. End of rant.
I think it's frustrating. You posted something else about chefs not being dedicated to the craft and being more interested in
I do that on my stories on Instagram. Yeah, it's a guy, I think it's a British guy, talking about this Instagram thing. I posted that first, and then I said, this is the problem. And this chef, who's a British guy and I think it's Go-To Food Podcast, I may have that wrong, talking about how we are now creating and running restaurants based upon their virality, not upon the talents of the chefs in the kitchen and what the product they're putting out. It's simply about how do they play on Instagram, and then right on the heels of that, I posted that which Sammy has found and will put up on our on the site of the Wynn doing the exact thing. Here's our viral. Everybody come here because here's our viral dishes. I'm sorry, it's just bullshit. I mean, it's everything that's wrong with restaurants. Aside from tasting menus, in 2026.
Yeah, I hate it.
Even you hate it.
I hate it.
And you're a millennial.
Well, that's what I was trying to get at earlier with the Yurt bar. I go, that's something that I could see just being built to go viral, but instead they built a very cool space, but are also doing things at a very high level.
Right. They're trying to do both,
and
so bravo to them.
Yes.
Rather, hey. Come here, all of you millennial and Gen Z idiots, just because here's our viral dishes that you'll want to see. Jesus. I mean, God. I mean, let's just give up now. I mean, we're all going to be eating cupcakes, with pieces of fried chicken on top of them at some point, okay? Because that's what photographs will. Or cheese bowls, or whatever BS is
You
catching.
did a yolk porn video recently.
I did.
I saw it.
The wife said, let's do it. And I said, okay, let's do it, just for fun.
Well, we appreciate it, John.
Okay. All right.
I don't really have a pet peeve.
Okay. Well, we've filled up another hour of your time.
I do.
Oh,
I do.
Okay.
If you're at a restaurant, be mindful of your volume. Like, you're not the only one there. When we were out somewhere, there was a table and they were just so loud and they were so cackly and laughing, and it's excessive and ridiculous. And I go, I want you to have fun, but there's also other people trying to have fun. And maybe I'm just being a grump. Am I being a grump?
Well, it depends on the restaurant, grump.
Well, it was like a steakhouse.
Well, some restaurants are more convivial and loud. If you've ever been to my lunch crowd in Cipriani, we kind of whoop it up, but we have the corner of the restaurant to ourselves
Yes.
almost. But
And that restaurant is loud.
yeah.
But it wasn't a loud restaurant.
Yeah. Okay, I get you. Yeah.
You know when you're in a quiet restaurant and the volume's
and
here
one table is just dominating and just, yeah.
and they just pierce through and it's all
Well,
you can
I have
hear.
that kind of voice, so I'm being, since I was 5, people going, John, inside voice. What are you talking about?
At least it's at like a deep octave, I guess, or tone. But okay.
Okay,
that's it.
Just a second before we leave, because I just found it and I want to I'll put it up there and I'll send it. This is the post that I put up here right here.
Oh yes.
See that right there.
Oh yeah.
See, that's the one. It's the viral dishes at Wynn's newest restaurant. So now, even not the public relations and
What is it? A seafood tower or something?
No, it actually, this is, yes, they have a piece of glassware, some Venetian glass. I think the cocktail glass itself costs like $100. It looks like a fish. Wow. Mind blown. All right, and
oh
with
my
that,
gosh. And with that, we're out of here.
Right.
Have a good one.
Good night, Canada, and bon appetit, all.